Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daisha. I am the owner of PGL Planners, and this is my YouTube channel where we do everything faith and planning. And welcome to today's Plan With Me. I tried to do the mic with my iPad, but for some reason the voice capture was like a whisper. So I'm gonna have to play around with that a little bit more. So this was a real-time Plan With Me, but it's gonna have to be a voiceover. Anywho, if you're new here, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification to stay updated on things new. And we are going to be doing some daily planning today. Very excited about it. I am going to do a weekly check-in, the faith check-in, because obviously we're at the end of a week. And so I wanted to fill that out, even though I didn't do any plan with me's inside of, not plan with me's, but any views as far as planning any days or weeks so far in January, because for the first week I was off. So I wanted to wait to actually use them because I personally don't like to plan in my planner if I don't have anything to plan. So there's that. I literally relaxed. All I did was the scripture writing plan inside of here, and that's essentially it. But I was on Pinterest and I found these lovely little picture panels that I wanted to use to decorate some of my spreads. And so I'm going to use this one for the dashboard situation. It is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to put it behind some pockets. We're going to do some little sheer papers, using the paper and cropping it down and making it sheer. I love the opacity function in Zoom Notes. It is just chef's kiss. I have been playing around with this iPad a lot, mainly Zoom Notes. I have not used any of the other apps I've seen everyone using on YouTube and stuff like that. GoodNotes I use for my stickers. I've been using GoodNotes for stickers for years now. I can say that. But I do want to see about the rest of the functions of the iPad because I am thinking about going ahead and getting a Pro within this year because, yeah, I need a bigger screen for filming anyhow, and I would like to have I would like to have a bigger screen to work with because I do miss my large screen from my Samsung tablet. It is absolutely amazing to have. Speaking of Samsung, I am going to be filming some Pinly Plan With Me's just to kind of play around with it myself. I know there have been a lot of updates. I want to show different ways you can use my products in Pinly, etc. I do need to get a new screen protector because for some reason I took my paper fill screen protector off my tablet. I don't know why I did that. No, wait, because I was trying to play Disney Dreamlight Valley on it and the matte screen was messing it up. But anyways, so as you see, I am grabbing another one of these papers and I wanted to go back over to Pinterest because I wanted to look for some more images. So I've noticed that a lot of people use Pinterest for mood boards or for inspiration for their planning. And if you ever have a hard time coming up with an aesthetic for a view, I highly recommend using these. They're very fun. I don't know how I happened upon them, so you'll have to excuse me for the lack of being able to explain what to type in to find these, but they are just so fun. So if you can look at the screen and you see any keywords that you can search to find them, by all means pause the video and do that because these are the bee's knees. I'm going to be using these a bunch. I'm also thinking about possibly making a few for V-Day because these are essentially very easy to make. They're not hard. So I'm going to try them out. I'm going to try to make them in the program that I'm using now to make some of these kinds of things because they're just sticker elements on top of backgrounds. Now, some of these obviously were hand drawn to be this way, but you can tell where some of these are just elements put on top of different papers, etc. So I want to try it out and see if I can get some for my ladies in either the freebies or within Etsy. We'll see. If I like them a lot and they're really, really, really good, then I'll sell them. But if they're maybe I only make 3 and that's not enough to put into Etsy because they take long to make, then I'll just put them in the freebies. So just be on the lookout for what I decide to do if you are a part of the Patreon, specifically the paid Patreon. I do need to work on some content for the free one, but give me a minute. The free Patreon, I'm getting a lot of new members there. I'm trying to debate on what I can do over there without undermining my paid members, who pay for the content that I put out, because I do put out a lot more for the paid members. So just give me a little bit of time. It's a new year. It's time for some new things. So I'm trying to rack my brain. I'm like, Lord, what can we do that's new that I can create and whatnot for the shop that can really bring in a new fill that is definitely faith related, but gives us that punch and fun and creativity that we need when we're planning. But this spread is coming together really nicely. There are a lot of free things that you can use. When you buy the box, you're essentially getting a lot of fun elements. But pictures and things like this are a dime a dozen. You can get them for free anywhere. So definitely take the time out and play around. If you're budgeting and you're trying to be on a budget with digital planning, there are different ways that you can go about doing it at a lower cost. Maybe that's a video I will do soon. Maybe we could do a Pinterest spread challenge inside of the Discord. I loved the one we did way back when in the Facebook group. I picked out a picture off of Instagram and I made an entire spread using only that one picture by using the freehand crop and things like that. I may do that again. The only problem is that I know a lot of my ladies have really fallen in love with Pinly. I don't think Pinly has the freehand crop yet. So if I did do that, you would just need to use Samsung Notes and then bring the image over into Pinly. I don't think the drag and drop will work, but maybe copying it into your clipboard and then dragging it into Pinly should work. So maybe doing it that way. I have a few videos for Pinly that I have lined up. But anyways, we're going to pull in the inserts from the 2024 planner box for January. I need to do the weekly check-in. I think I ended up going with pink, yes. And then I'm also going to go into the other insert over here, and I'm going to grab the daily view. And I love Zoom Notes so much because I can do all of this all at once without having to go out and come back in. And I can just easily grab the views I want to use from within Zoom Notes and put them into my planner and not have to move. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, Zoom Notes is that babe. Like, I love Zoom Notes. I have not wanted to move, try another app, do another thing since I started using this app again. It's just phenomenal. So for my ladies who are using Zoom Notes, and I think every other app will give you the, if you turn the opacity up, I think it should not bleed into the paper. But with Zoom Notes, you have to turn off dark bleed in order to highlight on a dark view. So if you turn off dark bleed, even if it's a little transparent, you can still see it on top of dark paper, which I absolutely love. So that leaves any color open for you. Just turn on the square ends for this. So this past week was actually very stressful. I'm not going to lie. The last week of Christmas leading into January 2nd was extremely stressful, which is why I'm putting it here. But oh my God, the Lord is so good because he has such a way with how he will handle a situation for you if you give it to him. And so that was essentially my week. My anxiety was not that high because I was really relying on him. I was stressed because I was like, obviously in my flesh, I was very nervous about what was going on. But it was just so wonderful to see that the more I pressed into him, the more the situation became obsolete and then it was solved. Like, it was just done really, really quickly. And then it was funny yesterday because our dryer broke again. It's an older dryer. We've had it since before my daughter was born. It's when we move, we do intend to replace it. But, also, if you want a perfect circle, turn on symmetry. If you want to bend the circle, turn symmetry off. But anyways, so it broke for the second time in the past, 2 years? That first year was like the first year of me owning my business, I think. And the heating element burned out. And so my husband replaced the heating element himself. And it was super inexpensive because they had our dryer's heating elements on Amazon for like 20 something bucks. And so it happened again. We already knew to order it. And it was funny because my husband was kind of struggling this time to open the front portion of the dryer because he forgot to take off the bolts. But we didn't know this at the time. I did mention it to him though, but men. Anyways, I sat down at my desk because we need the dryer. We have kids. They're always running through clothes. So I was like, Lord, because I was thanking him for the other situation that got fixed. I said, Father, can you expedite this dryer situation so it can get fixed immediately right now? And literally as I was writing it, he was like, babe, I figured it out. I got to take these bolts off. It's good. Now we're good. I was just like, Lord, talk about those immediate answers, man. It's just phenomenal. But anyways, I'm writing some of the books that I'm reading. I'm currently in a fast, and I'm not saying that to brag, but I'm saying that if you have not fasted for the new year or to bring in a new year before, do it. It is the best way to set up the new year. Die to your flesh, put everything aside. Instead of doing all these vision boards, which is not biblically sound, do a prayer board or something like that. Instead of doing all these vision boards and Pinterest idea boards and sitting and trying to manifest, which is not biblically sound either, sit down and write down what you're going to be fasting from and why you're fasting, and ask the Lord to do a new thing in your life. His will be done. I'm going to fill the rest of that out later because it's personal, but it's time to go ahead and daily plan. So I was like, how do I want to go about planning this daily? I wasn't really sure. And for my ladies who are part of the Patreon, free and paid, I am going to do a real-time plan with me this morning. I've got the time. I might as well. I'll do it as a screen recording. I probably won't use the mic just because I don't know if it's going to capture. So I don't want to waste our time with that. Because I know you guys like the real time. So I'm going to do that and plan for tomorrow, because it's Monday. So it's a little bit more of a tricky day to plan. Yeah, I tried something. I was trying to see something because I wanted the workday rest day at the top, but it didn't work out. Go ahead and tell you, spoiler alert, this does not work for me, because I could see the cut and I couldn't get it resized the way that I needed to where it would work. So yeah, just letting you know in advance that this did not work out for me. I am going to be making more of these Dutch door panels with rings. I did see some requests in the producer vote section, I think, or either Q&A. I have to go back and look. I will go through those and see what I can do about them, and if I can squeeze them into the schedule I set for this entire month, because obviously it's getting into that second semester for my kids. I have to set up the new curriculum, and then we have to really drive it home with my daughter as far as like closing out reading, like really getting more comfortable reading books, etc. So my focus is going to be 50-50. So it's not going to be the same. So I'm going to try my best each month to knock certain things off the checklist. But if I can't get to it then, I will have to get to it that next month, just because I don't want to burn out. That's the biggest thing. I don't want to burn out. I did catch burnout earlier in December, as you all remember, and it trickled over into my holidays, but it was so good to have that 2 weeks off. The stressful situation did knock me down a little bit, but I got the rest of the week, the 2nd all the way to the 7th, which is today, to recuperate, to get that rest back. So anyways, you guys will see me you'll see me doing these shapes and really trying to figure out how I want to do this, because I was like, I don't really necessarily want the schedule view right here, but I don't need a grocery shopping view, and I didn't need the other views because I use my A5 for those things. So I'm going to be coming out with a lot more of these panels because I love the idea of them so much, and I know that they can be phenomenal if there's a pack, like themed pack, like a panel set for meal planning, a panel set for homeschooling. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, that way you can add them wherever you need them. And so that's my idea. I will be working on that. Ooh, just got an idea. Okay. Yep. I will have to write that down when I finish. If you know my brain and you saw what I just did, then you already know where I'm going with this. But anyways, I'm really excited, y'all. I'll say that. I'm really, really excited. Because, yeah, I'm excited to be back. After taking a break and not working for a while, my brain, when I do come back, just immediately goes into creative mode. So I have my list prepared to keep myself under control so that I don't burn out, basically. This panel I did not end up going with, just spoiler alert, but it was really pretty. I wanted to use the second style in the Patreon box, which is why I didn't go with it. This was smaller too, so it left room for me to blend this panel into the spread. Y'all, it's so gorgeous when we finish. It's so pretty. Simplicity. When you take these kinds of blocks and add them into your spreads, I kid you not. And because they're already arranged, they're prearranged. I've seen people like kind of do like the junk journaling in corners and stuff like that, grabbing pictures and images and elements and like doing these on their own. Y'all, I don't have time. So this was like as close as it's going to get. I did use, like I said, style 2. I have been wanting to use these lights for the longest. My biggest thing, which is why you saw me put it over there, is that I needed to blend it into the spread, and I'll show you what I mean in a second here. One of my things with like aesthetics, even when I'm creating something for the shop or the box, is that whatever I use, even though they're all multiple elements, I need it to blend. So you see how I'm putting things here to blend it? The bookshelf leaves. She's not staying. She didn't fit. But the flower stack is the concept I'm referring to bring it into the rest of the spread. Because when I make the boxes, I'm using like multiple different artists, multiple different elements, but I need it to be cohesive and I need it to go together. So this is something that over time now I think I've kind of mastered because I have to do it a lot. So even when I'm making spreads for like just for myself and I share them into the group, I find that I still try and do what I do when I'm creating, which is make it fit, make it blend, etc. This is the only time where warping is available in my mind to me. So you guys will see me drag this sticker here. I did it because I wanted it to go behind the flower pot. I didn't want any white to show up behind here. I wanted this whole section to be completely done off. And now you see how that looks? Isn't it gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Inner planner girl freaking out here. It's just the bee's knees. I definitely have to make some more of these. I have to. But anyways, so I'm trying to think too if I want to create any views for the planner, putting it inside of the group. I have to be honest with you all. I'm not using that reading journal, but it's because I've never been the type of person to write what I thought about a book down anywhere. I just put, I like it, I don't like it. So I was not the target audience for that kind of journal. I know there are certain people who read a lot. They're like straight bibliophiles and they love to write the summary of the book, their ratings, if it's in a series and all of that stuff. I've never been that type, ever. Whether it's been with shows, books, anything. I don't do that. I don't know. It's just not my thing. So instead, I've just been using my A5 and writing a list, but I would love to have at least a book gallery, like where I can have all the books that I read for that month or something. So it may be a panel that I make, like a book reading panel, where you can slide in like your current read, your current thoughts, instead of having like a whole reading journal. Because for me, that's just not, it's not, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense for me personally. I'm not speaking for everyone else. The opacity set in here, the opacity feature in here, I keep saying it. It is just phenomenal. I ended up using it again, as you guys can see. I'm grabbing a bow. The bows that I use that aren't currently in boxes are in the Etsy shop under the Essentials kit. I love my bows, y'all. And if you love a good bow, head over to Etsy and grab this pack. There's like 2 packs, I think. Grab them. They make a spread look fancier than what it is. Sometimes. This spread, I think, is pretty fancy. I'm not going to take that away from myself. But look at it, you guys. It's very simple. And if you look at everything I've done, it's not a lot at all. Didn't take a lot of time. But it is just so pretty. Now, I was like, should I add something else? Like, because the sticker set for Style 2 is really, really pretty. So I wanted to add something else because naturally it's really pretty. But sometimes you just have to know when to say when. And this was one of those moments. There's nothing else that needed to be on this page at all. Like, it looks perfectly fine the way that it is. I don't know why I was trying to force it to happen. And I gave up. So now it's time to fill it in. It's a work day, obviously. It's a half work day in accordance to what I would normally do because I'm not going to do too much. I'm not going to create anything extra special today. We have a book club meeting today. So I'm not going to be doing anything major. I'm going to get this video out. And then after that, I am going to work on picking the patterns, things like that. Picking out different stuff that might inspire me for the products that I have on my list. And we're gonna but the biggest overhaul for Etsy shop is going to be these Dutch door panels with the rings. I'm going to release multiple sets of those because they're genius. I love them. They fit into the planner so seamlessly. Maybe I'll make some different sizes, but we'll see because it has to work with the current setup of the planner. I will keep it in mind for 2025 planner. I'm not making a mid-year planner. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not making a mid-year planner because this is a faith planner, so it doesn't lend itself into being anything else. I mean, you can by using the BYOB section of the shop, and there's plenty of like schooling inserts over there, but it is a planner that is pretty much set for the year for faith and a little dabbling in planning and stuff like that. So I don't see myself making a mid-year planner. Could I change my mind and dial back on that? Sure, but as of right now, I don't think so, you all. So just keep that in mind. If you are like, oh, I'll just get her July planner, or the one that I'm not really looking to be making one. Because if I was making one, I would need to kind of start now-ish on the ideas. And I want to just focus on making sets for this planner. So just keep that in mind. I tried to make this video nice and slow here so you guys could see everything I was doing without it like speeding by way too fast. So I hope that helped, being that this was supposed to be real time, but it didn't end up being real time. Sorry, it's bath time for my kids and they're getting ready for their cleaning time and all that stuff with my husband. So you're gonna hear little cackles and chuckles. But anyways, I'm writing in the stuff that I take on a daily basis. I'm back on my black seed oil. If you've never taken black seed oil before, look up the benefits, see if it fits within your current regimen, and try it out. It's phenomenal. Love it so much. And it makes your feet baby butt smooth, like seriously. But anyways, you all, this video is closing. I had so much fun being here with you all. It's been a long break, but I'm back. If I have not gotten to your message or your comment, I will try to today. If not today, then tomorrow. God bless each and every one of you. I hope that you are starting your new year out intentionally with the Lord, and I hope you enjoyed this whole setup. God bless you all. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will talk to you all later.